Welcome to a video session on Java's Servlet Life Cycle. A Java servlet's going to have a life cycle. There's gonna be man is force for the most part by the web container dislike many other different times that server-side components so. And this so there's gonna be a creates a is that create faces gonna call and missiles a sense that. And then this was a sister as worthy in that method associated with my HTTP servers is going to be called to remember the in that method is where all the initial allocations required by the various executions and threaded executions on my server are gonna be used, so they are things that need to be allocated. Authentication need to be received. Those are the types of process that might be contained inside at the end that map. Once the admit that has run successfully, then the server becomes available for service. Once it's available for service, of course, this is where I can begin to pass messages to it. So at this particular point it'll be loaded into the instance pool. And it's ready to accept message-based processing. So now the service method is going to be in the never. Remember, the service method is a method that inherited from our superclass unless I have overwritten. Then the service method is simply going to continue one down and pass control into either a do get await do post math. So insider my Servlet itself, I'm gonna have probably wanted two entry points, or maybe both. One for get processing the do get math and one for post processing the do post math, so they don't override the service matter. Then the request is automatically can be filtered into my particular servlet in one of these two entry point. Now once it's available for service, I can begin the process and start accessing the business logic aspects that are socially with my particular. I can basically go out and start accessing messages and doing the basic processing. Know what I'm doing this time. I encounter some time, but then there may be a point in time where I'm processing a particular requires an exception is going to be generated. At that particular point time, my particular application, my particular servlet may become unavailable for service, so we would move from available for service to an unavailable for service type of scenario. At this particular point, I'm based on how I would handle this particular request. I could go back and they continue the process. Is ultimately depend on exactly how my application is built to handle different types of their processing. If it does become unavailable for an extended period time, then the destroy method mine actually get call. Now remember, the destroy method is the process where I'm about to be the allocated or removed from the instance pool. The application server the destroy method does get called. Then I'm gonna be unloaded. So what are the roles of the web container now? Simply to unload my Servlet out love the instance pool to make way for somebody else, and then we're basically place unavailable for service type of scenario. In this particular case, at this is this an hour actually unloaded. The next request that comes in is gonna require the entire life cycle process to begin anew, so once they become unloaded now, the Servlet is know I'm gonna be available, so this entire process. Love creating the server, initializing it, making available for service. Pulling in the actual messages, passing control to the associated entry point in a sense and lonely it, and destroying it out at the instance to all this processes. These functions are the mainstay in the role the web container. Thank you watching for this video. Have a nice day.